Hey, turn me up. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Damn. Hey. Hold on. You know what? Keep it going. I'm gonna go right here.
Hey, this is Andre Lewis, your host with the most from the YouTube show, So What Do You Do? And we are here with my main man, Jason Hayes, this season 2 with our special guest, Anastasia the DJ. She's been having dreams of becoming a DJ since the age of 13 when LimeWire, MySpace, Napster, and YouTube was at an all-time high. She's been perfecting her craft since November of 2018 in a male-dominating industry. Since then, she's been killing it throughout the Bay Area, where you can catch her in all of the hottest venues and nightclubs in San Francisco, Oakland, and the surrounding areas. Anastasia, thank you so much for joining us this season.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. I got a question though.
What kind of question?
Being a DJ, being an inspiring DJ, can you say if you get into a car and you have a playlist, should that playlist automatically slap?
It should for whoever's driving. Because as a driver, in most situations, I play music that most people don't want or like are familiar with, right?
Okay.
So they're like, why are you playing? Especially if you're in a car full of girls, you know what they want to hear, right?
Right.
But I don't
listen. But would you say you cater to whoever's in your car?
I do. I do cater to whoever's in my car. But if it's by myself, of course it slaps. Like
what's one of your main slaps that you're slapping right now?
Main slaps that I'm slapping right now. Ooh, what am I listening to right now? Pretty much everything in my new mix is what I'm listening to right now. So it's a lot of Ramirez. It has Larry June, G Perico, Currency. Who else is in that mix? There's someone that's
that sounds like some guys like JWDY. It sounds like a part of that mix.
Yeah, JWDY's in that mix for sure because he just dropped some new music. They kind of everybody dropped new music, so yeah. And then I got some people I think from out in Chicago. Oh, what is his name?
O&B Peasy.
Yeah, not that one. It's the other
okay, yeah, I think I know which Peasy you're talking
he's
about.
He's somewhere in the East Coast, and then he does music with Babyface Ray. I forget. I feel like they're in Chicago, but I think there's Detroit. Yeah. So that's what I just came up on him. I know he's been around for a while, but I'm like, wait, he slaps. So I've been listening to a lot of that.
You like Cash Kid too.
Yeah, I think I've heard a couple.
Kid is out there in Detroit too. All those guys, I feel like
sound like that. Yeah. Anytime you take like any kind of throwback sound or like retro sound, like and kill it like that. Like slay those lyrics. Like okay.
What were you doing before you became a DJ?
Before? Are we talking like 6 months or a year ago? Or a year before? Or
I'm talking
leading up?
You officially became a DJ from my understanding November of 2018. What were you doing in September of 2018 before November came about?
I was working as a door girl at a local club in Concord, just collecting money for whoever came into the club, and I just had like my first like modeling opportunity. Someone just asked me like, hey, we need a model for this, would you be down? I said, I've never modeled, but yeah, I'll do that. And that night at the club, I didn't know who was, as a door girl, you don't know really who's DJing, especially if you're new, especially if you've never been in the nightlife before. And so I'm just working the door, and this girl starts out with some throwback, or I didn't know it was a girl, right? Just this DJ had some throwbacks, and she had a little bit of R&B mix, and then she just like lit the whole club up all night, killed it. Like I was like, I have to talk to her when I'm done. Yeah. And so it was like 2:30, she's like waiting to get paid, and so mine, I was like, hey, you were the DJ? Like, you're raw. Like, I was so impressed. Like I was like an instant fan, like just talking to her. I was like, that is so dope. Like that's something that I always wanted to do.
Do you remember her name?
Yeah, I do. Kimmy.
Kimmy?
Yeah.
Is that her stage name?
That's her DJ. I mean, her name, her DJ.
Okay, her DJ. Okay.
Yeah.
So is it
DJ Kimmy?
Is it DJ names or stage names? I'm not.
I guess it would be the same.
Is this the same?
Yeah, it's the same thing, right? Like I feel like most guy. No, that's not true. But yeah, I feel like a lot of guys tend to use like real like random like names for their DJ names.
Yeah.
Or like a nickname, whereas like girls seem to use more of just their name.
Yeah, like DJ Big Cali.
Right.
Who was our season 1 guest. So far in your career, has there been any young teen or, you know, young female who has came up and said, hey, Anastasia the DJ, you know, like what you just did out there was live. I want to be something similar to you.
I've never had like any female who's actually at the club like say that they also want to DJ, but I've had them come up to me and be like, this is so dope. Like I've had that moment with them, like you're so raw and you're female, like that's like, they're just like so juiced.
How's that feeling?
Like, you guys, I'm just like, you know, like I'm regular, normal, like don't, like, you know, they're just like hyping you up, right? And I'm just like, you can do that. Like I literally pop up like, you can do this too though. Like, you know what I mean? You could be raw like that too. Like, I don't know.
Takes time and practice, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I've had a girl who found out I DJ'd and she like came up and talked to me after and was like, hey, like I really want to learn how to DJ. Like, can I come to you? And I was like, yeah, but I'm just learning too. So, I mean, it'll be us kind of learning together in a way.
Right.
There was no follow through, but you know.
Oh, wow. Okay, so, okay, actually, that's a great way to start this question then. Do you believe, as a female DJ, it's sort of tougher for you guys to actually, you know, get booked for venues, or do you think it's easier for you because, you know, the venues see something, you know, what they should not be seeing and whatever the matter is?
I will say that it's definitely like a mix, and it depends on how active you are in the industry, like going and meeting people. Like that is like really how you're going to get opportunities and taking opportunities and not saying no and not like being worried about getting paid right off the bat, right? Just in general.
Oh, got it. Okay, that makes sense.
But I'm not gonna lie and say that when I posted a picture when I've modeled or just in general, or when someone tagged me, or someone just finds out, oh, she's a DJ and she's also female, never came to any of my, you know, I'd never seen me play before, instantly giving me an opportunity.
Wow.
So, you know, just because I am a girl.
Right,
it's like I could be trash and they're like, yeah, come, you know.
Just because you're a female.
Yeah, so there is that, like, I understand, that's how I understand when guys are like, you can't model and DJ because you're not playing on a fair playing ground, right? But, sorry.
Yeah, because, you know, honestly, they can say that, but, you know, still, like, there's DJs like yourself, DJ Shellheart, and, you know, there's other DJs and other female producers, but it just seems like, you know, I'm not sure if there's an actual balance, if there's an even playing field. Do you see that there's more male DJs, or if there's
definitely a lot more DJs, and I don't want to say any opportunity, but like my first real opportunity going into a club was offered by another guy DJ. Like I've had more guy DJs give me opportunities to open for them than no female. No, there's never been a female DJ like, hey, come open for me.
Wow.
You know, it's always, but this is a male dominated industry, so it's not that there's not females willing to offer the hand. It's just the promoters are male, all of the DJs are male, the club owners are male, like the artists who want you to play for them are male, like it's just how it is.
Right, right. No, I totally agree and I totally understand. Do you see any change or any shift in that?
I feel like since I've gotten into the industry, like I have met the other female DJs. I've heard more girls express interest in being DJs, but again, it's like the follow through on that. Where's the follow through? Because I think people don't realize how much footwork you have to kind of put in to you can't just show up at a club like an interview and like, hey, I want to DJ for you. Like, okay.
Yeah, no,
you can try, but it's definitely gonna be harder. Yeah, you want to make those relationships and like talk to people.
Actually let them last and make them grow.
Right, and like, okay, yeah, I want to book you. Because some people like right off the bat, I mean, I didn't get booked until like months later. Like, yeah.
Wow. So, you know, there's legends like Missy Elliott, Rihanna, Alicia Keys, Beyonce, who have produced songs, and you know, obviously they are more known for their R&B and hip hop skills. Nicki Minaj is another great producer, female artist who's also killing the game. Do you see yourself sort of starting to produce songs for artists? Do you see yourself trying to transition into producing songs with other artists?
Yeah, I would really like, that's the end goal, I think, for for most DJs, I feel like we should have that as an end goal. That should be like the plan, because you know what people like. Like firsthand as a DJ, when you play a song, like if it's new, old, you know, something that you're like kind of vibing with, you can tell if they dig it or not.
Okay, so then what, I guess you can say, so a DJ cannot really be considered a producer unless they are playing with like the vocals and playing with the fade and the sound. And
my understanding is like that those are all different people, right? So a sound engineer is the one messing with all the sounds, but as a producer you could have a say so, like, hey, the vocals on that, like, you know, you need to turn, you know, it's not as clear, or it sounds like something's like, I don't know, not a filter, but you know, it doesn't sound as good as it can, it's not crispy enough.
Right.
And I feel like for me, I'm gonna have to do that because I'm picky, right? So if you're picky and you have it, you can hear something that's really wrong, you're like, you know, you don't want to like reach and grab the mouse, but
yeah, right.
But you also want to have a basis of knowing what you're talking about. Like I'm, you know, someone who's been doing this for 10, 15 years, listening and being a sound engineer, like, yeah, I better not step on their toes, you know? So as a producer, like you're just keeping everything in quality, you know, like quality controlling everything.
Right.
Yeah.
What's one of the craziest events that you've DJ'd at?
Craziest events that I've ever DJ'd, like as in packed, or like the weirdest event that I've ever done, or both?
Let's do the weirdest event.
Okay, the weirdest event has nothing to do, because I don't know if they ever watched this, it has nothing to do with who booked me, it has nothing to do for whose party it was. It was just, I was completely, two things, sick as a dog with a fever, and didn't have like the right understanding of what they wanted for this birthday party. So I borrowed speakers from someone, I ended up forgetting a speaker cord. I have a fever too, mind you, but I'm not gonna mess this up because this is someone's birthday. Okay, so I was like, and I had to drive from Concord to Hayward. Okay. So I'm forgetting a whole speaker. I already forgot a speaker cord, right? But they're not set up either. Right. And as I'm seeing them set up, I'm like, oh no, what is this? Because I play hip hop. Like that's what I play. Like I don't really, maybe some top 40 if they want it, but I'm not playing like
the mainstream types of things.
No, I'm not playing what they were.
What they were requesting.
That looked like an electric festival parade, like a EDM, like
okay.
whole birthday party.
Okay.
And it looked lit, like, and they were hella nice. But you know, you're not feeling right. You forgot a chord, so you're stressing because it's 30 minutes there and 30 minutes back. That's a whole hour late.
Yeah, wow.
So you set up and you already know that the music you have is not what they want, and you have no time to like get more. You know, there's not like, you're just gonna have to roll with it.
Wow.
So yeah, I played what I had.
That does sound like a crazy event.
Like everyone was on, like people were passed out. Like, I mean, they had a good time, but I know it wasn't what they were really expecting, right? But like people were like on it, having hella fun. But like they're like, hey, can you play this? And I was like, I don't have that. Like I don't play house music, or you know, that kind of like trap house music. You know, like where it's like
like I know what you're talking about.
Not trap, you know, our kind of trap. It's the other kind of trap. Yeah. Very underprepared. Because I think some people have that expectation, like all DJs are that kind of DJ, or they have that basis.
Oh
like,
yeah.
No.
So is there like a genre genres I should say, that you more steer towards to?
Yeah, I mean.
You already said like, you know, like some trap music, hip hop, R&B, I'm sure. Any other types of genres?
Actually, I do play, and I'm gonna sound like a white girl because I'm not Spanish, but like reggaeton, I play that. Okay. I play, I've been learning some salsa and bachata because there are a lot of venues out here that want both. They want that, you know, they want the hip hop and stuff, but they want that in between because that's what makes.
Do you salsa?
I don't.
Oh,
but I should
learn so you can be back there on the turntables.
I'm pretending like I know
salsa,
something,
hey,
and then they look at it like, no, you really don't.
No, she doesn't know. Can your supporters and your listeners support any new merch? Can they find any new merch on any of your Instagram page, your Facebook, Twitter? I have some stuff like in the works. Okay. I had stickers before. I still have stickers, but I usually just bring those to my events. Okay. And so if they want them, they can just like grab them. But otherwise, like I have a couple collaborations where we're doing shirts or we're doing some kind of something. But those are in the works. We're still waiting on everything. So those are on the back end. What does it mean to you to be dominating in a male-dominating industry? It's crazy because I didn't
even think about this until like we hit COVID and I was reviewing like all the gigs I did and like who I've met, because it's been a lot of people since November 2018. Like all these people are new. Every single person's new. I was not in the industry at all, like zero. And so I was just thinking, and I'm like thinking all these names, I'm like, this guy, this is the guy, this is the guy. Like you just realize like, wait, wow, like you really don't have a lot of girl allies. Of course I met a female DJ, right?
Yeah, right.
But to even think like dominating in something like that, like because men are dominant, you know what I mean? But then yeah, to be a female that's kind of like sticking out, like okay, like good job, you know what I mean? Like,
right,
you really look at yourself like, wow, like you really did that. Like you should, because you can get really hard on yourself, right? Like, oh, I don't have enough gigs, or I'm always, you know, opening, or you know, whatever. But I'm like, no, my face is on a lot of things, or my name's on a lot of things. Like that's a big deal, because starting was hella scared, hella shy. I was like, oh, I'm happy if I get 5 all year. But then I had consistency and like with the people that I met, I'm like, this is really cool. Like I'm proud of myself. I should be proud of myself, right?
Go ahead and give yourself a round of applause. That's awesome. Go ahead. Oh, that's really good. No, that's really awesome. Can any of your fans or your supporters, your listeners, can they find you on iTunes and download any of your mixes? My mixes are on SoundCloud. There is one on YouTube, but I'm sure it's gonna get taken down soon. On YouTube? Because of music licensing. Like pretty sure that's gonna get gone. It's good though. But yeah, SoundCloud and Mixcloud is where I have the mixes right now. What are you trying to show the next group of females, the next group of women who are aspiring to be a DJ or a producer just like yourself? You have to learn to be by yourself so that you can go and talk to people. Like if you're really trying to get into the industry, like you have to find your voice, and you have to be confident and go in and just say like, hey, I'm so-and-so, or you know, just make those connections. It's weird, it's awkward, you're gonna be by yourself, you're a girl in a club by yourself, but you have to put in that footwork. Like no one's gonna do that for you. Sure, people are gonna put their hands out, but if they don't know who you are, like you're just really. And why I say go by yourself is because you can bring your girls with you and y'all are gonna have so much fun, right? But you never know how that night's really gonna go when you're out with all your friends and you're drinking, and you know, maybe you have that one friend who gets way too loud and gets kicked out, or you just don't wanna have those opportunities ruined by anyone. And I know we all love our friends and we respect them, but at the end of the day, this is like the job part, right? So enjoy yourself, talk to people, don't be shy. It's gonna be awkward. Some days are gonna feel like, why did I even do that? But that's how people are gonna know who you are and how you're going to get those opportunities. And don't be weird about working for free, because you have to build that portfolio so that people know that you actually put out work. Because if you're just a pretty face, like, okay, pay me $200, like that doesn't mean anything to anyone. Like you have to remember, this is a business. This isn't social media. Like this isn't like to have a crazy time with your friends. Like if this is what you really want, you really gotta stand, you know, and be confident. I hear that. Yeah. I hear that. I hear that. Yo, Jason Hayes, you hear that? Yeah. How do you prepare yourself usually to remain calm before going on stage? If you ask anyone who knows me well, DJ wise, I'm stressed out my whole entire like gig. I'm stressing. The only time I'm not stressing is actually when I play at the Gallery Art Bar, because they have hookah there. Yeah. You can have your shot in your hookah or whatever. But I'm stressed. Like I'll get off work or whatever and I come home and I'm just like, all right, I got 4 hours before my gig. I need to play, like I'll practice for a little bit, like kind of understand what I'm gonna play that night. Like then I'll like, you know, shower, get ready, and like, you know, drink some tea. Just try to be like relaxed, because I'm a stress ball. Like I really be stressed because I just want it to be perfect and I forget to have fun. So. I'm learning that part still. Well, Anastasia, you know, you're more than welcome to look into this camera, this camera, or this camera, and just tell your fans, your supporters, your listeners what you got coming up, what we can expect from you, any promotions or clubs that you want to shout out. All right, what do I got going on? So I do have some mixes coming up. I've been just holding on to them for right now, where I want to introduce, because that's also part of a DJ's job, is to introduce new music.
So a lot of times I like to take music that is out there that artists are pushing and have a lot of artists or a lot of people listening, but maybe you haven't heard of. So I have a couple of those mixes coming out. I do have some merchandise coming. I am working on a couple projects. I do have a live stream coming up. I believe it is Thursday. I'll have to look at the calendar. I'm so sorry that I forgot which day it is. It's in 2 weeks, and it's with DJ Stace, and we're doing a live stream mix. So that should be pretty fun. What else I got going on?
Where can they follow you at?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Anastasia The DJ. Almost said .com. It's not .com. Anastasia The DJ on Instagram. It's the same for YouTube. It's the same for SoundCloud, Mixcloud. I try to keep it pretty consistent. You can email me if you're a new artist or even just, you know, whoever. Send me your music so that I can listen to it. I like making mixes of new artists or upcoming artists, and just kind of put a whole mix together with a bunch of different people so people can hear new stuff. You know, I know we all get tired of the radio stuff, so send it to my email, anastasiathedj@gmail.com.
So what do you do? And we are here with our season 2 guest, Anastasia the DJ. She's been DJing a whole lot of. And we have a special guest this season, DJ. Oh, Jesus, dog. And this season, we have a special guest who has been having dreams of becoming a DJ. And we are here with our special guest, season 2, Anastasia the DJ. She's been having